Welcome to DrupalCon, everybody. It's great to see you here. Any of you have seen your projects on the slide before in the break? Any of you? Yeah, thank you. It's great to see all of these great projects that Drupal makes possible to do and that you work on. That's what spreads Drupal around the globe. So thank you for doing all of that. Daddy.
Yeah, so maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
I think there are some people coming to first DrupalCon. Who is in the room coming to the first DrupalCon? Wow.
Wow. Welcome.
Okay, so I was earlier in the exhibition area and I met 3 people from Uruguay coming to their first DrupalCon. I hope you're in the room. Here you are.
Back there.
Welcome all the way from Uruguay. Building great websites there, so I hope you're going to hear more of those stories. But my name is Patti, and I'm part of the organizer group, advisory board of DrupalCon Europe. And with me are Imre.
And Gabor. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so you might see a little bit more of us in the week because we are helping out. And if you have any questions, we are wearing different types of, t-shirts.
We'll talk about them later.
Yeah. So, Gabor, is this your first DrupalCon too?
No. It's been a while.
Is it the DrupalCon number 15 or is it more?
No, I stopped counting.
Okay. So, should we go with the
let's do this. So,
what is going on this week?
Yes, so there's a couple of things that we want to run by you right here, right now. Some cool things, important information. So welcome to DrupalCon. We're so happy that you're all here. You are all here. But you're invited to a couple of other cool things as well. Of course, the group photo at 3 p.m. this afternoon. It's going to be in front of the registration desk. So make sure that you get there in time. We all want you on the group photo. Obviously, no DrupalCon without a group photo. Do we do a head count normally?
What?
Yeah.
Do we do
I guess at least, I don't see Valdo in the room here, but you may see Valdo in the picture.
Yeah.
So
I see him there.
So group photo at 3, right after Driesnote, that is, right? Then there's awesome social events happening. There's the opening ceremony where we're all now here.
We are there now, right?
We are there now, yes.
Okay, good.
There's the Women in Drupal Award.
You're also here for that. That's happening straight after this one.
So we're going to celebrate, obviously, the amazing women that we have, and a few of them among our Drupal community, and commemorate a few of them at 12. So make sure that you're here, because it's going to be cool.
And Women in Drupal Award is also sponsored by Jacala.
Jacala, exactly. I was about to say
that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Then there's the opening reception tonight, 6:15. That's always fun. Make sure that you're there too, right? We get a chance to talk to each other, have a drink. So be at the opening reception at the exhibition hall. And then on Thursday, there's a wrap-up ceremony, right? We're all coming together for that as well, but it's Thursday way off.
So what happens in the wrap-up ceremony?
we may tell people about some news that they don't know about.
You mean something about next year's DrupalCon Europe? Make sure you don't miss that one.
Yeah, but nobody knows about that yet.
Nobody, no.
Nobody.
No.
So that's the wrap-up ceremony, and then there's trivia night on Thursday evening. Of course, trivia night. It's organized by an amazing team of people, led by Alan, Stella, and Maureen. There's 9 judges and runners.
You have to be. I think it is broken.
Is this better?
Yes.
Can you all hear me? Okay, so 9 judges and runners, amazing team of people, sponsored by Zucha and Amazing Labs. So thank you for that. It's a tremendous amount of work. Come to Trivia Night. It's a first come, first serve thing because it's popular. Do bring your badge though. You need your badge to get in, right? And prepare your team.
Actually,
And
you
you
need
can
your badge all the time here, right?
Yeah, exactly. You need your badge on all the time.
And you can also get food there, so you don't need to go eat elsewhere. So if you haven't been able to register, don't feel bad about that. Just show up, and if there's still space, then you'll be able to fit in.
Yeah, we're going to be there. And then there's another community event, which is the Drupal Business Dinner on Wednesday evening, where the results will be presented of the Drupal Business Survey. And over 70 agencies and Drupal service provider supported that and contributed their insights and their data. And there's some valuable insights there if you're an agency or a service provider, which most of us are. So come to the Drupal Business Dinner. If there's still place, there is a queue forming. You can still sign up, but make sure that you catch the buff on Thursday then.
Yeah, I also heard there are some other parties going on, so make sure you speak to everyone in the exhibition room, because I think that there are some companies throwing up some parties. So just go and speak to everyone, speak to each other, and make a group party as well. So
excellent.
And we also have contribution events here. How many of you have contributed to Drupal before in one way or another?
wow.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So here, for the rest of you that haven't yet, here's a good time to get started. So first, there's the first time contributor workshop. If you haven't contributed before, they will tell you about the tools and the processes that contributors use to build Drupal. And that's almost every day. There's one later today, there's one tomorrow, and there's one on Friday. If you already know the process, but you need help picking issues or need help going through an issue, then the mentored contribution is for you. So there's going to be mentors in these beautiful green shirts that will help you pick issues and walk through those issues and pair you up so that the issues get resolved on the day. That's going to be on Friday. And general contribution is right behind the exhibition hall. So if you go down, you go into the exhibition hall, there's a huge room of tables. And that's the general contribution room for all week. And there's going to be at a different place on Friday as well. So that's where teams of people come together. So if you go to a session and they say that we're going to work on media in Drupal, or we're going to work on search in Drupal, or whatever else, you can find them at the general contribution room throughout the week at the tables that have signs for who's working on what. If you work on an issue, tag it with Barcelona 2024 so we can find them and we can celebrate all the things that you are working on. Thank you. Barcelona space. Oh, no space. No space 2024. So exactly as on the slide.
We want to see how many issues we can close this week.
Yeah.
All right, the keynotes. Surprise, Driesnote is coming up directly
Who would have thought?
after the lunch.
Yeah.
So Dries is the founder of our project, and he will speak about what is going on with the Drupal project, what is going on in his mind regarding our community, and what we should celebrate and talk about. And I've heard that we're going to learn something more about Drupal CMS in the talk. So looking forward to that. That's happening after lunch. We're going to have lunch here between this session and Dries coming on stage.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. No pressure, Dries.
Then on Wednesday morning, we have Monika Rikic, who is an independent electronic artist from Barcelona, traveling around the world, and she's going to be talking about coding beyond functionality, altering technologies through artistic research. And she's going to be telling us about how you can do a different approach when you're coding. And I've heard there's going to be a robot on stage with her, where she's going to be showcasing us some things.
It's going to be robots and coding on stage.
Yes.
It'll be awesome.
Yep.
And there's a live demo, I think. Ooh.
Yeah, why not?
All right. And then we have Theodor Ragnar Gislason, who I see there. He's going to be speaking about building safer digital communities, the mission of Defend Iceland. So Theodor comes from Iceland, as I do, and I think it is really interesting that he is building up a community of ethical hackers. And he is going to be talking about his journey throughout the hacking and actually going to tell us a little bit stories of early on hacking journey. But most important, how can we, and just like the Drupal community, create like a community of ethical hackers and make the world and the web a better place? So that's happening on Wednesday.
And finally, there's the Drupal Core Initiative Leads keynote, which puts all of these great initiative leads on stage, and they will talk about the inner workings of how Starshot or Drupal CMS is being built, how we enable our new organizations to contribute to Drupal, what are the new methods that they're using that we may not have used before. And so it's going to be really exciting, and we're going to get insights into a lot of different areas, as you can probably some of you can probably guess from the list, so make sure to be there.
Yeah, but talking about this, we also have a Starshot Drupal CMS track at this event. So you can look at the program schedule, and if you go into the track Drupal CMS, or I think it is maybe even called Starshot still,
Starshot, yeah.
then you can see all of the issues from all of the people who are working very hard on that at the moment. And I really encourage you to go to the buffs and ask questions, and we need your help. So please tell us what we can do together, or let's talk about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to learn and be involved here. So we're looking forward to your involvement as well.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of thank yous, proper thank yous that we should do, right, at this point. So there's a lot of people involved in putting DrupalCon together and making sure that we can all celebrate and have fun this week. And Drupal Association staff and board are the people that work behind the scenes on stuff that you see and stuff that you don't see. And there's a lot of people involved there. So I want to thank the Drupal Association staff members for putting out all their work and effort into making this a success, right?
And if this is streamed live, we want to especially say hi to Tim Lennon, who broke his leg and he can't come here. And I hope that you're watching. You will be missed, and hopefully we can stream you here as well.
Yeah.
Because
while preparing, he broke a leg too seriously, I think.
So let's give a little applause for these people putting this out. Thank you so much. Yes. Then there's my fellow board members who also put in a lot of effort. Some of us are here. We've also had the board retreat over the weekend where we talked about a lot of stuff on strategy and Drupal Starshot and CMS and some things that Tim Doyle will be talking about in a minute. So thank you, fellow board members, for putting all out your effort here. Thank you so much. So thank you. So there's if you may or may not know about Kuoni Tumlare, they're a professional event agency that run DrupalCon Europe, along with a huge team of volunteers and obviously other people. And they've been running DrupalCon and organizing it, putting it together for the past 5 years. And they're an amazing bunch of people. They wear the Drupal t-shirts on their holidays, and they're fully embedded in our community. So thank you so much, Kuoni, for doing what you do. Yes. Yeah.
And we'd like to thank all the volunteers, and there's way too many of them to put on one slide, but including all the people that work on the session team, the track teams, they lead the session selection, they work in the social team, they as people that contribute with local information, people that manage the volunteers on site, who you can see with black t-shirts, by the way, if you see them around the venue, people who worked on the slide deck in the intro, and all kinds of other things. So it wouldn't be possible without them to be here for all of us. So thank them as well. It's a lot of fun to be a volunteer at DrupalCon. I think you should try if you haven't.
And we can also not do it without the sponsors. And I hope that you will have opportunity to go and meet them in the exhibition hall or in the contribution room or at trivia night. Here is a list of all of the sponsors who are participating this year's DrupalCon Europe, Barcelona. So give them a big clap, please. And
what does the European Commission have to do with
I know,
Drupal?
like we were also thinking the same, but we learned that the European Commission is for the first time sponsoring DrupalCon.
Wow. It's amazing.
And not and not only that, but I see the people from the European Commission there. They have hundreds of developers working on Drupal and contributing to Drupal and using Drupal. So thank you for being here, and make sure you go and you speak to them at their booth downstairs.
Thank you.
All right, then we have a couple of more slides. Now we don't have to clap every single time because there are so many, but there are the certified partners, the top tier certified partners of the Drupal Association. You can learn more about these programs. Diamond, there's gonna come Platinum. This all depends on how much your company is contributing to Drupal. So there's contribution credits that we get through our ECQ, and the more you contribute, the higher level you get, and you can participate in the program with the Drupal Association that Tim is going to be telling us a little bit about. But make sure that you thank these companies, because they are the ones that are, of course, working hard to get Drupal working for us every day. So thank you to all of you. All right. So, and then we have the local Drupal associations, and this is also something new. So we've been thinking for many years, we've done it for many years now, and we've always been thinking, like, how can we make like a Eurovision out of this event? We are getting closer, like, we got this to happen.
Okay.
So we have Jean-Paul and Esmeralda and the people from the great network of European associations that have been meeting now for a couple of months, a year, and that all happens here. And these local associations are now working together because they're learning from each other. There are some matured ones that even have staff, and then there's others that are actually just starting. So if you have a local association, also outside of Europe, there is a booth downstairs. So make sure that you also go and speak to them. And especially, you know, I heard from Uruguay earlier, you know, I really encourage you to come and speak to those, and because most of them have been doing this now for many, many years.
Yeah, it's great seeing the collaboration, I think, because they're working on a reference website that can be shared between different associations. They have their booth together now, so if you don't have an association and you want to be on this slide next year, go talk to them and they will help you out.
And one great thing, he mentioned it, there are already 3 associations live with their websites, and the websites are all the same. They are looking beautiful, and it was the Netherlands Association that created that website, so Drupal.nl, and now we have Drupal.fr, and we have Drupal. What? NO. Exactly, and I know that Germany is going live at some point, so thank you to everybody participating in that. Most important, that is very important for us in the Drupal local communities to have a beautiful representation in our language, in our country.
Yeah, so just to repeat, if you don't have a local association or starting up, there's a website for you to copy and get going right away.
Yes.
And the community of people to talk to help you out. So thank you all the contributors that made Drupal possible. So I think half of you raised your hands that you've contributed to Drupal. Thank you. The other half of you, this is the week to get involved. So I'll see you around in all the contribution events.
All right, are we doing the housekeeping now? Or are we no?
No.
That was okay. We're doing the housekeeping later. We are very lucky to have many of the Drupal Association staff currently at the event, and they also have a booth downstairs. What I'm also happy to tell you is that Tim Doyle, but actually he's here and he's going to be speaking, but we don't call him Tim Doyle because there's an issue. But there's another Tim that has been longer in the Drupal Association. So I want to welcome his name within the Drupal Association. Welcome T2.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bati. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Is everyone excited for Barcelona? There you go. Let's get some energy going. That's awesome. I am T2, which, if you saw the movies, he's good at the end, right? Terminator's good in the second movie. So, yeah, there's only one Tim at the Drupal Association. When I started almost 2 years ago, I quickly learned that I had to be T2, and I've embraced that moniker very well. I'm really excited to be here. I want to spend just 6 minutes talking to you a little bit about the Drupal Association and what we're up to, and then how you can get involved. At the Drupal Association, our vision is a web that is innovative, inclusive, and open. And our mission is to drive innovation and adoption of Drupal as a high-impact digital public good, hand in hand with you, our Drupal community. A year and a half ago, we got recognized as a digital public good. We believe that public dollars should go for public open source projects. Thank you. The Drupal Association is a small but mighty team. Right now, we number 19, but we hail from 5 different countries across the globe. We cover a lot of things. Our basic task, the one task that every day we have to wake up and make sure is there, is that we make sure that Drupal is available to anyone, anywhere in the world, free of charge. right? We house the infrastructure that does that. It's at the heart of open source. The work that you all do as contributors, we funnel that into making sure that it's available to anyone in the world. We are a very dedicated team. I'm really excited about working with them. One thing we're known for is our DrupalCons, right? We help support DrupalCons. We have been supporting DrupalCon Europe with our great partners, Quanti, and the fantastic volunteers, advisory committee, and so forth that puts this on, and anything we can do to help support that, we try to do. We believe that in open source, in-person gatherings are the heart of where we grow the community, where we strengthen the community, and we can make the community better. So we want to do what we can to support these types of events. We also have another DrupalCon in North America. Anyone here? How many people here have been to the North America DrupalCon? Okay, so you know, what I love to see is it's the same energy. It's always done a little bit differently. In order to make DrupalCons more available to more people across the globe, for this year, we have started a DrupalCon in Asia called DrupalCon Singapore in December. It's going to be exciting. What we found is that, you know, for many, DrupalCon is the place, maybe it's their first DrupalCon where they get excited, they make relationships with other people in the community. It's a way they can learn, train, advance their skills. But more importantly, they can network. They can meet people that can help them in their job, can help them in their contributions, can help them in their career. And so DrupalCons, these in-person events, are super important. And in doing DrupalCon Singapore, what we want to do is make sure that, you know, it's a long trip to come from Oceania, from Australia, New Zealand, Vietnam, you know, India. We want to make it more accessible, have a local DrupalCon that maybe more people can go to. They don't have to travel to Europe or to the United States. So we hope this is going to be successful, and we hope it brings Drupal to more people. In addition, the Drupal Association initiative is underway to talk to local associations. You saw a bunch of the local associations that are presenting here today, that are exhibiting at this event. We want to understand what their needs are, and then how can we help support them. And so we've spent the last 8 months talking to a lot of local associations. There's a BOF at the event at DrupalCon here that will talk about what we heard, and then we're going to spend the next year figuring out how can we support all the volunteers at the local level to the best that we can. The Drupal Association is run by a board of 13 members. The board of directors, they come from all parts of the Drupal ecosystem. So we have agency leaders, we have end users on the board, we have folks that work in other technologies, marketers. We have a whole variety. They meet, this is a dedicated bunch. We meet electronically 4 or 5 times a year, but we meet in person twice a year. They give up a weekend. They spend time figuring out, setting the strategic direction for Drupal. You know, we discuss, we dialogue, we debate. There's digressions. There's dining, and we spend the time doing that. It is crucial running a global, an organization that is supposed to have a global impact. It is crucial to get people in the room to discuss these issues and help us work on the strategy that will work for the association and how we move forward. So I want to add you saw them up there, we clapped for them. I want to add my thanks to the board of directors of the Drupal Association. When I started 2 years ago, and I've had many jobs where I've worked with lots of boards, and I've never worked with a board that's as dedicated, hands-on, and interested, and committed to the goals. So I want to add my thanks to the board of directors. Thank you. So if you want to meet these cool people, we are doing an open public board meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. I believe it's in this room. Hopefully this room's big enough. I'm not sure. And you can come. There'll be a public board meeting. Don't worry, the board meeting part is short. The boring part's short. But we enter into a Q&A with anyone in the audience about. You can ask any questions about the association, the direction, what we're working on, and so forth. So encourage you to come to that. It's on the schedule for Thursday. It's changed to tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Drupal Association has 3 objectives. We want to innovate. We want to support the innovation of Drupal. we want to support the marketing of Drupal, and we want to raise resources for the community and for the Drupal project. So innovation, you might have heard of this initiative called Starshot. As an example of one way we support innovation is we've been working over the last several months to match up the volunteers who want to work on Starshot, talking to the Starshot leadership team, figuring out where they can match up volunteer skills and resources to what is needed to move that project forward. That's one role that we have. In fact, if you walk through the exhibit hall, there's placards at exhibitor space if they are a Starshot company that is committed to resources to Starshot. I know there's a lot of them out there. Those are ways that we support the project and innovating. We are big supporters, obviously, of Starshot because it gets us to our second one, marketing. Traditionally, for software the size of Drupal, if it was a proprietary product, you would have a large team of marketers, of sales, and so forth. As an open source community, that's not there. To keep Drupal as one of the largest independent open source projects in the world, we need to be promoting ourselves. And we need to be promoting ourselves in the same way that other products promote themselves. So big initiative for the Drupal Association, with the guidance of the board's marketing working group, is to get into product marketing. So the Drupal Association, we are hiring 2 product marketers that will work for the Drupal Association, be marketing Drupal as a product and working with partners to extend that brand across the globe. And then lastly, resource raising. This is fundraising, raising money for the community, raising money for project. Again, to keep Drupal as one of the largest independent open source projects in the world, we need to be able to raise the resources that the project needs to move forward and that the community needs to stay strong. Those are our 3 strategic objectives. You'll hear a little bit more about that at the public board meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. when you attend, or if you attend. All right, so now all this, you're saying, how can I get involved? Okay, the board is full, so there's no open board seats right now. Although we have 2 new board members joining tomorrow. You'll find out who they are. And part of the board is 2 members of the board are elected by the community, by you all. You're going to find out who, we held that election over August. You're going to find out who won. I can tell you the person is in the room today. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Come tomorrow and find out. But there's ways, beyond being on the board, there's 2 ways you can get involved. First is you can become a member of the Drupal Association. Become what we call a ripple maker. And it does 3 things for us. One is it's a sign of your commitment to Drupal. So anyone can go to Drupal.org and create an account. That's part of our mission, is to make sure that's super easy and accessible. Creating an account on .org is great. Doesn't mean you're a member of the association. So we ask people to become an association so we can say, this is how many people support Drupal. Not just create an account, but are actively supporting Drupal. That's 1. 2, it allows us to contact you with information, give you news about Drupal, make sure that we have a good list of people that are interested in Drupal and what's going on in the Drupal communities. And then 3, if you're able to make a financial contribution, that helps support our work. Over the last year, it has helped your contributions for people. We have about 3,000 people, 2,000 people that have given whatever they could afford on an annual basis. It's allowed us to do a few pretty special things. A year ago at DrupalCon Lille, we were approached by a gentleman who wanted to run a Drupal camp in Burkina Faso. We were able to support and fund that camp for the first time. I believe it's the first one ever in Burkina Faso last year due to the contributions. We talked about the importance of DrupalCon, of events. We provide for each DrupalCon. One of the things that makes it a DrupalCon is we provide scholarships to folks that otherwise financially could not make it to DrupalCon, either because of the registration or the travel costs or what have you. We do that for North America. We do that for Europe. We're doing that for Singapore. All of that comes from the funds that community members of the Drupal Association donate. So the more funds we can donate, the more we can do scholarships and other things like that. So I want to thank you for that. And if you haven't thought about being a ripple maker or becoming a member of the Drupal Association, I ask you to consider doing that. Stop by our booth. Lastly, if you work for a company, if you're an agency leader, we have our Drupal Certified Partner Program. We have enhanced the program over the last year and are about halfway through the rollout of this new program. The intent of the program is twofold. One is to create a culture of contribution at companies that use Drupal, that their primary business is implementing Drupal solutions for end users. We want to create a culture of contribution. Second is we want to recognize those companies and raise their visibility in the marketplace, because we believe if we have more companies acting as makers, more companies that have a sustainable culture of contribution, then we can strengthen Drupal itself. Again, keeping Drupal as one of the largest independent open source projects in the world requires not having one company that funds everything, but really having all the companies participate at a maker level. So both of these work together as an individual, as a company, as a community, as volunteers, as the Drupal Association. Together, we build the open web with Drupal, and that's how the Drupal Association intends to fulfill our mission. So I would encourage you, I met a lot of people last year in Lille. I look forward to meeting you. If I haven't met you, I look forward to meeting you. I would encourage you to come by our Drupal Association booth, talk to us about Ripple Makers, talk to us about Drupal Certified Partner Program, talk to us about the weather, whatever you want to talk about. We just want to get to know you and kind of relish in the community that we have here. So thank you. I want to end with one thing that we haven't done, which is thanking you all for being here. You know, all the volunteer work, our great partner, Kwani, the Drupal Association, we can do all this work. If you don't show up, it's all for naught. So this is what strengthens the community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making the commitment to travel to Barcelona, not a bad place to travel to, but to spend the time here with us building the community. And I look forward to meeting each and every one of you at our booth.
Thank you. All right, so talking about coming far away, Owen, our chair at the Drupal Association, stand up, Owen. He's coming all the way from Australia. I think it was, what? What do you win? So 30 hours. I think Pamela also, 30 hours to come here to DrupalCon. So thank you for doing that. All right, we have to do a little bit of housekeeping. We have to tell you a little bit about like how we want to behave, what we need to do, like what is our photo policy. So let's start here with the health and safety.
Yeah, there are a couple of QR codes here. So if you want to get your phones, they're going to be on the screen like in between, and you can find them obviously on our website. But there's the health and safety, and we want to make sure that everybody, stays healthy and safety, and that we respect each other's health and safety. And behind the QR code, there are some guidelines of.
Yeah, most important, what we always say, if you feel that you're sick, if you feel like, stay at home, wait for one day. I think this is all the general stuff that we just try to, because there is something called the Drupal flu. And the Drupal flu is not just being sad, coming back from DrupalCon, that we are just now have to go back to work.
Right, yeah. So
the Drupal flu is real, and we sometimes get, because there are many people coming together from very many different countries. So just respect that, think about that, and most important, just clean your hands very often, and just like, respect all the things when people don't want to be hugged. So it's fine and very good.
Thank you. So then there is the code of conduct, obviously, which we always have, dedicated to safe, inclusive, welcoming, and harassment-free. So let's respect that. If you have anything that's uncomfortable for you, then come to the reception desk, come to us, email or whatever has your preference, but make sure that you get that you notify that, right?
One good rule, if you want to follow the being open and respectful of people, is the Pac-Man rule. So that's a full circle that has a pie eaten out of it. So if you are talking in a group, then always leave one space open in the circle so that somebody who's not part of the group can come in and join your discussion. So it's a good way to get to know all the new people that are first time here.
So Gabor, we have a couple of younger people here now. Maybe not everyone knows about Pac-Man. So like, help us too. Maybe we can find something else for next year.
And then there's the photo policy. Obviously, photos, we do photos with consent. We encourage you to take photos, put them online, use the hashtag, but do not take photos of people wearing the orange lanyards, all right? Thank you for that.
Yeah, if you took a white lanyard and you don't want your the photo to be taken of you, then take an orange lanyard. If you want photos of you taken, then switch to a white lanyard.
Yeah, so all our great photographers that are here in the room, they will make sure to check the photos before they put them online. So sometimes, of course, in groups, there are people that are maybe with those lanyards, so, but we will work through that. Or in larger groups, maybe it's not so easy.
Yeah, we collect photos after the event, but in the meantime, if you post them on social media, here are some of the hashtags that you can use. And you should get the app. So the app is super useful. It's available for all of these platforms. It's a generic event app, so you enter Drupal24, and then you can log in with your own email address and the PIN code that you received in your email that was titled Badge Preview. So you look at your email for Badge Preview that had the PIN code for this app, and once you log in, you'll be able to contact other members. You have a QR code in the app that other people can scan, and you can share contact information very quickly. And there's a chance in the app to collect a bunch of points by visiting exhibitors and doing all kinds of other activities that you'll see in the app. And those that collect a lot of points have a chance to win a free ticket for next year to DrupalCon Europe.
That nobody knows where it is, right?
Nobody knows. So that's the app. Make sure to use it.
And then we have Merce. This is our mascot, and now we've done this for 2 years.
Yep.
3 years. Oh yeah, starting with in Lille, in Prague. So what this mascot has been doing, this mascot has been traveling around the world. It was even in Portland. It has gone to every single Drupal camp that has happened, and when there has been photos taken with Merce in each of those events, people have actually been giving tickets for free. So I think that there's some people here in the room who have a free ticket. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So this was the mascot for this year. And of course, it's not always possible to have the same going to, so there might be other versions, available and smaller versions of the mascot.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody made a smaller one, yeah.
Because sometimes camps are happening at the same time. Anyhow, in the app, there is a Merce auction. And this is something that we've also been doing. There's an auction until 26th of September, which is Thursday, until 2 o'clock. So you can bid to get Merce.
To bring home this well-traveled mascot. And it's not just that you are getting this well-traveling mascot, so you can bring it home. But you can also pick from one of these organizations to sponsor with your donation, with the money that you are bidding. So it could be the Drupal Association, or it could be the Hidden Disability Sunflower. It could be Trini Chove, or it could be Planet Wild. So some of these are well-known local organizations, some of these are international organizations. You can pick to support with your donation. So there's a lot of good things happening here. And we also appreciate your feedback about this conference. There's a global conference survey on that QR code. We'll also send it out in an email that you can provide feedback about this conference. And if you need more singing on stage, maybe in the future. But there's also individual session surveys that will be shared by the speakers in their slides. And it's also available in the app through the survey button. So you are very welcome to provide feedback on individual sessions. That helps us adjust the program and change it in a way that's even better for you in the future.
All right, so every year when we go to these places in Europe, we get the local community to participate in our work. And this year, we of course contacted the Spanish Drupal Association and the great people here from Barcelona. So I welcome Antonella and Cristina on stage to tell us a little bit more about Barcelona.
Welcome, yeah.
Thank you. I'll take this. Well, welcome to Barcelona from the local committee. Has anybody been to Barcelona before? Wow, a lot of you. That's great. Well, actually, Cristina is from Catalonia. I'm a transplant. I'm originally from New York, but I've been living here 18 years, so it's obvious I really enjoy it here. And I'm really glad that DrupalCon is here in Barcelona back, because I started my DrupalCon journey in 2015 when we came to Barcelona. Has anybody been here in 2015? Whoa, it's amazing how many. Okay. So whether you know it or not, we're going to give you a few little tips about living in Spain and visiting Spain. So let's start. So fact, let's start with a fact. Catalonia has 300 annual days of sunshine. So sorry if you're here one of the weeks that it actually rains. But I'm sure you had a good time anyway. Now we're going to get into some stereotypes. So stereotype 1, all Spaniards take a siesta. Well, some might, especially in regions where it's hotter and it's just really difficult during work hours to work during those times. But it's not really a reality to do that. If people have long hours because of their work schedule, they might go home, have lunch with their family, do chores, go to the gym even. And if you're stuck at work because you don't have enough time, you definitely won't see Spaniards eating lunch at their desk, like where I'm from. And they prefer to socialize with coworkers. And I see some of my coworkers there, and we eat lunch all the time. Stereotype number 2, that all Spaniards love bullfights. Although it's deeply rooted in Spanish culture, people have mixed feelings about this, and it's actually not very popular among younger people. In Catalonia and the Canary Islands, it's actually illegal, and a lot of the arenas are being converted into museums, shopping malls, and event places. Stereotype number 3, all Spaniards play and dance flamenco. Although when we visit, we expect to hear flamenco music in all corners, like I did when I used to visit, it's really not what to expect. The flamenco is really iconic outside of Spain for, being from here, but it actually originates in Andalusia, a region in southern Spain. And not everybody dances or plays or sings flamenco, although it is integrated in the culture. But Spain is full of rich and varied musical traditions in every different region. So when you visit, you'll definitely experience those. Stereotype 4, the paella. So no, we don't eat paella every day. We do love it. Paella actually comes from the region of Valencia, and it was typical farmers' food, and it was made with whatever was in the fields, like rabbit, pork, chicken, sometimes snails. So it didn't start off with shellfish and seafood. Another tip, so be careful. So even though we all love it and it's extended into other regions aren't experts at it. So be careful of the tourist traps for sure. Selling paella. Another tip is eat paella at lunch because it does tend to be heavy. But if your only option is to have it at night, it's okay. And stereotype, and I think that's it. So you can see from this little tour, Spain has a lot of a rich cultural heritage in all the different regions, a lot of different foods. Like in Galicia, we have, I guess I feel I'm from here. We have octopus and shellfish. In the Basque Country, they're typical for their gastronomic foods, and the pinchos, which are tapas on the bread. Andalusia has gazpacho or salmorejo, 2 different types there. Jamón ibérico actually comes from Extremadura, and here in Catalonia, there's crema catalana, the calçots, these onion-type things, and of course, pa amb tomacat. And now I'm going to pass it to Cristina to talk a little bit more about food. And you know what? I'm feeling really hungry now, so I can't wait for lunch.
No, this one.
This one, yes.
Okay. First, I need to ask you a question. Who actually usually have lunch at 11 in the morning? Okay, see a few. Yeah, no judgment here. Noon, midday, 12. Who has lunch at that time? Well, it's a lot of people. Good luck. So, when we have lunch, this is the time, 2, 3 p.m. If you want to actually go and have lunch in Spain, in Barcelona, you won't find proper places before 1 p.m. Sorry. We just have lunch later. So we basically break the day in different ways that most of you do. We do have like the morning, then we have the midday. And the midday goes from 12 to 2, 3, depends on if it's summer or if it's winter. After that, we have the afternoon. And you usually have dinner there. We do have a snack. We don't have dinner. So we have something else after the afternoon, which is the evening. And we don't eat here, as you can see here. It's from 5 to 9, 10. Really, don't go for eat something like at 6 p.m. It's like with a paella. It's just going to be a tourist trap at 6 p.m. eating paella. Good luck with that. We actually have dinner. Well, kids can actually eat at 8. It's reasonable. But we usually have dinner like at 9, 10, something like that. And it's the normal thing. So if you expect to actually find a restaurant open really early, and early it's like 6 p.m., sorry, good luck. It's usually open from 8, around 8. It's usually when the kitchen opens. And you actually don't have restaurants open between lunch and dinner because we just close. And I learned yesterday that it's not normal in the US, but it is like that in here. So we have other traditions. We have human towers. I'm not sure if you saw that. We have castellers in here. It's that's actually a picture that I took on Sunday. I saw on Instagram several people that was actually in there seeing that. I love it because it's a really good metaphor of how to build things together. It's actually a bunch of people, men, women, kids, old people, any age. They go work together, build a thing together. They place people strategically, and that's the goal, to get somebody to reach the sky. And yeah, I see some people laughing already. Sorry, I can't talk a lot about like things related to shit, but I couldn't skip this one. So, I know most of you for Christmas, those that celebrate Christmas, actually look into the sky to see Santa Claus coming. We don't look at the sky, we look at the floor and we search for a lock. Yeah. So we go, search for a lock, put the lock at home, and we make sure that the kids feed the lock with milk and cookies. Don't ask me why, but that's a kind of thing that the Tío de Nadal eats. And you make sure that the lock is properly fed until Christmas. And then at Christmas, you actually take the sticks, hit the lock, and the lock shits the presents. So that's our tradition. And since you're here and some people are posting things on Instagram, I'm going to give you one more tip. Shorthand for Barcelona is Barna with an N. That's important because Barça is from the Football Club Barcelona with C. I know the French people also have this letter, not for the rest of people usually, but it's a C. That's not Barca neither. Barca for us, it's a boat. So if we see somebody saying, I'm going to have my holidays spent on Barca, for Catalan, it's like, okay, good for you. So remember, Barcelona with an N. So welcome to Barcelona. I hope you enjoyed the week.
Oh, thank you. Yep. Thank you. So I'll maybe just leave it here. Thank you also for telling me that. I was definitely one of those who said Barca, and might be also a football fan of Barcelona, but is there any football fans here from Barcelona? Yeah? Real Madrid? Sevilla? Okay, good. Let's not talk about England and Liverpool, but let's go forward. So this was the first part of today's opening ceremony, and the second part is going to be Women in Drupal. And then after this part, we are going to have lunch and then come back here at 1:45 to see the Driesnote. So to announce the Women in Drupal Award winners, which is something that Jakala, or formerly known as FFW, made 3 years ago. And to tell us a little bit about this, my fellow Scandinavian from Denmark, Kit, from Jakala, come up here, please.
And you hear me well in this one? Yeah, you do. So thank you so much for having me. I'm super proud to be here for the third time. And even today, if I'm with another name now, Jakala, this award has been founded by FFW, who was the company we were before we changed our name to Jakala. So if anyone is confused, visit our booth. We'll tell you much more about all of that. So I'm extremely proud to be here today. And am I all right to throw the guys off stage, or is that inappropriate?
No, leave them here.
It's just because, okay, they can be on. Okay. It's because I think we need the space, no? Okay, you move if we need the space, right? Good, because today the topic is women. And I have to say I'm super proud also to represent women in technology. And I'm even more proud to be here today trying to explain also some of the things that we can do to actually change the figures that you may have seen in the video, which is like 26% of women employees in the digital industry. We're going to change that. I don't know how, but I know we're going to do it together. But before I start, Betty, maybe we should invite the rest of the jury on stage.
Yes.
Would that be
Yes, let's get
proper?
the jury up. And can you? Yes, thank you. And the jury is Tiffany. These are the winners from last year, Marine. Do you all know? And Lenny. So they are going to help us to do the award ceremony for the new winners. And the jury work was like this, that it was nominations, so we asked for nominations, and we got a lot of great names sent in. And then we need to have the hard work of looking at those nominations and find the people who are that we want to celebrate today. And these three categories, these are also comes from Jakala. So the define category, build category, and scale. And yeah, we found three great winners this year.
So if I just try to introduce them, and then we now just have the jury on stage to just see whom they are. Because I have a little more to say before we hand over the official awards. Is that okay? Cool. So together to get there. This is the payoff of Jakala. This is what I represent. But when I just read it and saw it on the video, I was like, basically, this is what it's all about, right? We cannot change anything if we don't do it together. And I think that was why I wanted you on stage now also, because I think this is really like a team effort, and all of you sort of lovely ladies in the jury, but also all of you who are actually nominating the award winners or potential award winners. This is truly important that we do it together. So I just want to say this is not done from one company or one person. This is really a true team effort. So within the last 3 years when I've been here, people of course also come to me and they're like, so what have you done and what are your sort of findings and what do you think we can do? And first of all, I have to say, I think we can do everything if we do it together and if we really put a focus on what is important. Last year, one of you came to me and said, it's super difficult for me, you know, in my society it's normal to have 3-4 kids. It's also normal for a woman to stay home 2 years per kid. That's a lot of years at home on maternity leave. And this is also very often happening in the period where I'm actually, you know, supposed to grow my career. And how do we balance all of these things and what can we do? And it's just very important to say when we talk about together is also the structures of the society, you know, and everything that's sort of the habits that we are used to having. We need to change also the structures and the habits. We need to say, yeah, it's true. Women are the ones giving birth. You know, we need a woman for that part, maybe also even carrying the kids still for a couple of years more at least. But everyone can take care of the kid. You know, it doesn't have to be a woman staying at home for 2 years each time. So there are some structures and there are maybe some laws and ways of doing things in some of the countries that we need to change. Where I come from now, actually just recently, it was changed so that men and women have to share the maternity, whatever it's called now, leave. So 6 months each. And if they don't want to share it, they lose the right to have the second part of the maternity leave. Which is maybe strange. Maybe, you know, some women would actually like to go home more, maybe some men would like to do more or less. But anyways, the thing is, we need to be brave and we need to find other solutions in the society as well to actually enable the people and the women to do the hard work of building a career on top of potential family life or whatever suits them. So I think it's really important, you know, we can all do this, right? We can elect the right people. We can ask for change, you know, we can find these stories. We cannot listen to the old habits or our parents or our grandparents, whomever it is, telling us what to do and how to do it. This is really important. This is what lies for me within the together part. And then I know there are some business owners or CEOs or managing directors or HR people or whatever there are here today. I don't want to ask you to raise your hands, but I know you're here. And I'm also representing the company side. And this is the second part of what needs to go together if we need to succeed. I don't know if I dare to say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. So it's not only about the amount of women that we want to have in the technical industry. You know, we look very much at the number. Now it's 26 and it was 13 and what is the goal? And if it's 50, is it fine? I do not care so much about the number, but what I care about is that do we have the equal opportunity? You know, do we have the equal opportunity to go to where we want to go? Do we have the same salary once we get there? This is also a very important topic. A colleague of mine told me that in some companies, industries, women could actually go home on the 15th of October and not work before the year after because this is how much underpaid they are compared to their male colleagues. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying, of course, this is also part of it. So it's not only about how many women do we see in the industry, do we have the same salary? Do we have the same opportunities? Do we find managers, CEOs, HR people, etc., that dares to support also the journey? And then I ask for these companies, design a family work-life balance for everyone. Encourage your male employees to also take leave, to also leave early, to also take children's first and second, however many it is, sick days, all of these things. So the change do not just come from the women, it also comes from the companies and therefore also for the male colleagues. I hope you're not going to kill me when I get out there, but anyway, I dare to go on. The last thing I just wanted to mention before we start the fun part I was about to say is that it is also about the women themselves. 3 role models already here from last year. 100%, you know, I'm so proud of the courage to actually continue to fight, even also if some of you have stories that also explains that it was difficult or it took another effort. So reading through the nominations is also very clear that there are a lot of women out there who has done a lot of things to get to where they are today. And I think we need to keep encouraging this also with our younger ones. So I brought my daughter today, and I hope you'll all go home. Tell them you can do exactly what you want to do. And you can be exactly what you want to be. And there are women, 3 here, 3 more to come in a minute, to stand on the shoulders on, right? You encourage them. And when they see, okay, this is something we can do, they also start thinking, of course, I can go after my dream regardless of what it is. It's super important. It also goes for you men. Go for whatever you want, right? It shouldn't be limited. And I think you're the true examples of this, and especially, of course, also the people that we are now going to celebrate on stage. Today is the day where you became a role model for a lot of young and hopefully also slightly older people out there. So thank you very much for putting a focus on this, also to the Drupal Association, everyone else. Let's go on to find the winners. Thank you.
So tack, Kit. We start with the first category, and that is the category Define. And Tiffany, an owner of, what do you call it in the US? Women-owned business?
I do have a women-owned small business, yes.
Yes, and you own Palantir together with your husband, who is also here. Also have 2 kids, and you know it's been inspiring to watch you because you've been part of the Drupal Association for so long, and also this the Drupal contribution community, and I think we're going to hear maybe something more about that later today. But tell us a little bit about this category.
Well, so as Kit mentioned, the Women in Drupal Awards are given to strategists, designers, founders, and change makers who have made this kind of lasting impression, I think that's off, through their contributions to Drupal. So the Define category, the one that I'm here to present, recognizes those who drive clarity in project requirements, or they coalesce others around these shared goals, and they create roadmaps for success. So it is my privilege today to present the 2024 Define Award to Esmeralda Tioff. I'm going to talk about it for a minute. I just told her I was going to say nice things for a minute, so she has to stand there. So Esmeralda is a visionary leader who serves as a Drupal product owner at Dictu, which is one of the largest ICT providers within the central government of the Netherlands. She is a board member of the Dutch Drupal Association. Esmeralda has also been a driving force in the center of this newly created network of European Drupal associations that you heard Imre talk a little bit about earlier. They're bringing together all the local European Drupal associations in this conversation and collaboration around, you know, what are their common challenges, and then how do they create shared solutions around that. So you may already be familiar with Esmeralda's story of personal resilience and empowerment, and it really demonstrates the kind of transformational power of open source. So drawing from her own experiences, she mentors and she advocates for others, working to ensure that Drupal is a diverse, inclusive, and welcome space for all of us. So please join me in welcoming and congratulating Esmeralda for this well-deserved recognition.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Oh, that's it's lovely. Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here, we'll take a picture real quick. So I think just to talk a little bit, Esmeralda, about your role. It does. It has your name on it, and so does that one. It's pretty great. So what does your role in the community mean to you?
In 2022, I went to Prague because I won. You see the mascot, and if you take a picture of it, you can win a ticket to the DrupalCon. And I couldn't afford a ticket, so I won one. And I went to this ball for local associations. I wasn't part of a local association, but I've got a habit of going where I'm not supposed to be. So I went there, and they talked about how they would like to get together more often. And then nobody was doing it after DrupalCon, so I just went like, oh, I can do that. So, and that's how the NEDA started. And then I got to be part of the Drupal Association in the Netherlands. And those guys are just phenomenal. They're like very active, and we could do so many projects. So, and that's how it all started rolling. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So, what does this award mean to you?
Well, for me personally, like you mentioned the video. There's a video of me on the Acquia television where I talk about how I got into Drupal and how actually Drupal helped me to get a financial safe base, stability. And that's what I want to mention here too. Like if you're not sure how to go around and getting a good job, there are a lot of free tutorials for Drupal around, and Drupal community is very welcoming. There are a lot of mentors here with the green shirts you can go to. So, and that's a way to just fix your life.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I'll take it.
All right, so we go to the next, have a seat. We should go to the next category. That's a build category. Marine from the France community and so much more. Bonjour. Tell us a little bit about the build category and the winner.
Yes, so the build category is for developers, architects, but also community builders. So everybody who makes Drupal the product and Drupal the community, and I'm super excited to present this award. So the winner this year is Pamela Barone. Yes! Woo! So to tell you a little bit more about Pamela and why we chose her among all the submissions that we got, she's a CTO at Technocrat, and that's already an achievement in and of itself, because we don't have enough women in higher roles. So just for that, you're a role model for me. And she's coming all the way from down under, Australia. So again, thank you for coming all the way. We're honored to have you here. She's a leader who really embodies this category because she's the product owner of the Starshot initiative. You're going to hear about the Starshot initiative all the time, but she's doing so much for this initiative right now with her strong communication and organizational skills, and especially with the timeline that we have on this project, it's really critical to have the right person in this role. But she's been contributing for Drupal in different areas for over 12 years, documentation, events, but more importantly, she's also working in the Bug Smash initiative. Actually, catch her session today at 5:55 to know more about that. But yeah, it's my privilege to recognize her hard work and her very important community role in the Drupal, both code and community. So congratulations, Pamela. We're very proud.
All right, we want to get a photo here quickly. Nice. So, Pamela, you're also going to get the microphone.
Yes. So I just wanted to ask you, because you've done so many things, what is your proudest achievement in the Drupal community work that you've done so far?
Well, I'll be speaking about it later when I talk about the Bug Smash initiative. I think that's just been a lot of fun because it kind of has carried through so many years, and it's something you can come in and out of. And there's just really nothing more satisfying than closing a bug. I don't know what it is, but I can't recommend it enough. And I want you all to join me, and I'll tell you how to get involved and get smashing.
Of course. When you put it like that. And so what made the Starshot initiative so alluring to you? What made you want to be a part of it?
I think the thing that's so exciting about Starshot is the opportunity to bring Drupal to a large group of people that we're not currently able to reach because of many reasons. But it's that sort of user-centric, marketer-centric approach that, for all of these years being involved in Drupal, I've kind of seen both sides because I work with clients and I work with developers. And I think there's such an opportunity to bring this technology to people who could do amazing things with it, but it's just been kind of out of reach for too long. So I'm really excited to hopefully be able to kind of bridge that gap and use the foundations, because I think a lot of the Starshot talk is about, it's about marketers, it's not about technical people, it's not about developers, but I think it's important to recognize that all of the work that all of the developers have been doing for so many years have created this amazing, stable secure base to build Starshot on. And I think that's what's really going to set us apart from the other platforms that we're competing against.
Yes. Well, I'm excited already to be involved. So thank you, Pamela.
All right, then we are on to the last category today. So Lenny, now working at the Drupal Association. Lenny, you're going to be telling us about the scale category.
Yes, absolutely. And to be honest, I am not exactly sure what brings me more joy. Last year receiving or this year giving away the prize in this category. Scale, what is it about? It's about bringing to the next level either your project or your company. And it brings me great joy to invite amazing woman and a good friend to the stage. Alla Petrovska, please come and join us here. So, Alla, besides being really moving power within Imagix company, she is as well volunteer and since very recently, from 6 months, also owner of a really cute corgi. But yeah, I know Alla for many years, and we back in the day we were together organizing Drupal Camp Kyiv, which for obvious reasons is not exactly happening these days, but I think that it will be happening again. So yeah, it's my great pleasure and my great honor to congratulate you and to welcome you as the winner of the scale category of Women in Drupal.
Yes. Congratulations. And let's get a photo together here. I see the CEO of IMSX here taking a video. All right, so here, Alla.
Yes, here you go. Okay, yeah.
Not enough hands as it happens.
Hello, everyone.
So,
thank you so
Alla,
much.
tell me, are you happy with this award?
Of course, I am happy, and it's a huge honor to get it and to be a part of this, to be recognized and to be a part of this wonderful community. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being amazing asset to our community. And speaking of the community, so I briefly touched based on the Drupal Camp Kyiv, but there is still things that are happening in Lutsk, which is in the west of Ukraine these days. So, and I know that you live in Lutsk.
Yes.
So can you tell us what's going on over there? Just to remind that Drupal community of Ukraine is still alive and kicking.
Yes, of course. So, of course, we have a huge hope that we will be able to host another Drupal camp in Kyiv somewhere soon. This is a huge hope, but still our community is very much alive and keep the contribution high. And yes, in regards to the events, there will be another Drupal Cafe in Lutsk offline. It will be, as I remember, 26 Drupal Cafe already in Lutsk, where guys having speakers and keep the contribution to the project and to the community, which is, of course, a very great effort and very much appreciated by the locals.
Awesome. Thanks again. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, so I think we are, so the Ukrainian community is, I think, one of the largest, third largest contributor community in our project. So we hope that we can go back to Kyiv at some point and celebrate there with the community. Thank you for joining us for the Drupal Women in Drupal Awards. And thank you and congratulations to all the winners and the jury members. We are going to take a photo afterwards. We are now going to have a way too early lunch. Like, why did Christina and Antonella, why did you not tell us this before? We could have done I think we have a session at 8:45 tomorrow morning. But okay, we were not advised good enough for that, so we have 12:30 lunch coming up. So it's going to be downstairs in the exhibition area. So go and grab lunch now, and make sure that you are here at 1:45 to listen to Driesnote. And thank you, Imre and Gabor, for being here with us. Have fun at DrupalCon.